This is the 9th video in a series on the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, a book which offers insightful lessons and historical examples of obtaining and wielding power. The book does not take a position on the potential uses of these powers. And while it is true these laws can be used for our own selfish benefits, there is the possibility to use these lessons to guard against malicious power players and pursue benevolent goals. Throughout this series, I will describe each law of power while providing examples from popular film and television shows. Some of these depictions will have historical relevance, although fictionalized, but all storytelling is mere reflections of our real world. Do not take these depictions as 100% factually accurate. They are merely examples to learn the laws of power. Law 9. Win through your actions, never your arguments. Judgment. Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you will stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. Robert Greene. The 1998 HBO miniseries From the Earth to the Moon is a dramatization of the efforts of the National Aeronautic and Space Administration, astronauts, engineers, and scientists to send an astronaut to the moon and return them safely to Earth. The 5th episode of the series follows the engineers of Northrop Grumman and their troubled development of the lunar landing module. One of the main issues the engineers faced was keeping the weight of the lander as low as possible.
Weight wasn't a factor, we'd have this thing done in a year.
True enough, but weight's going to be the most important factor. Of course, if we could find some teeny tiny astronauts, we'd be done in a month.
The original design called for large windows to maximize the pilot's view.
Bob, how much do these windows weigh?
600 pounds at least.
Do we need them?
Yeah, Tom. I think the astronauts might want to see where they're going.
Do they need windows this big? No. Of course they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to see from their seats.
When the engineers proposed saving weight by making the windows smaller and moving the astronauts closer to the window.
What if they don't need seats? They can fly standing up.
Yes, but they have to land.
In 1/6 gravity. If they were standing, they'd be a lot closer to the window, which would increase their field of view, which would mean we wouldn't need such big windows in the first place.
Well, I think it's interesting, but I don't really see it. Sorry.
The lead engineer was unable to accept that that would actually work. But, after pulling an all-nighter, the engineers, confident in their design, prove that it will work through their action and demonstration. The 2008 film Outlaw King follows the coronation of Scottish King Robert the Bruce, played by Chris Pine, amid the War of Scottish Independence. At the start of the film, Robert is forced to beg forgiveness for rising up against the English king with the rebel William Wallace.
I'm proud of you, Robert. You had the courage to stand up to me, and the wisdom to stand down. Well done for bringing your son round, Ron.
After the death of his father, Robert attempts to rally other Scottish lords to his cause.
I'm saying we need to set aside our rivalry and win back our country, then we can decide who wears the crown. Not Edward. John, between us we could raise 20,000 men. We could have a fighting chance.
It'll never work. The people are tired of war and suffering.
That Scotland should be independent from England and ruled by a Scottish king, and that Scottish king should be Robert the Bruce himself.
We should never have surrendered. We had no choice because we had no one to lead us. Perhaps now we do.
It's not as simple as that. Why is it not as simple as that? We promised our people peace!
Your recklessness is going to get us all killed! Not if we stand side by side. The Commons and the Balios will never swallow that.
The Balios have had their chance.
Unconvinced and fearful of another failed rebellion, many do not join his side.
He will not be forgiven.
After suffering a devastating blow in a surprise attack, that decimates and scatters what forces Bruce was able to call to his side, he was forced to go on the run with his remaining supporters, where he is loath to find little support among other Scottish lords, some of whom support the British, while most were supporters of John Comyn for the Scottish crown.
Lord MacDougall, have you come to join us?
And why would we be wanting to do that?
No more taxes for Edward's pocket. No more good men dying in wars not of their making. We can unite Scotland.
Comyn was my cousin. You're no king of ours.
Who Bruce killed under a flag of truce.
Of our country. And I swear I'll do whatever it takes to keep you from being its king. And once I explain to Edward the meaning of your furtive letter, we'll place a noose over your head and Scotland's crown upon mine.
Lord McKinnon.
I heard the rumor you made yourself king.
Come to ask for your support.
How many men have you?
40.
I wish you luck. I truly do. Come on, Lachlan. I've known you for over 25 years. Now just please give us your own people. It's your own people.
Come here for your help.
Are you done? I believe in time you'll change your mind. And I'll be waiting. Move.
In order to regain the support of his fellow Scottish nobles, he begins to wage a guerrilla campaign, striking soft English targets with a mix of deception and ambush.
This is how we do it. We travel in stealth, strike without warning, take the land back castle by castle, destroying them as we go.
First, winning back the support of the common people, who suffer the most from the English occupation.
Enjoy this Palm Sunday feast. It was prepared for your enemies. It is yours now, as is everything in my family's castle. I serve Robert Bruce, King of Scots. Join us to free our land!
The Bruce then gains additional supporters with each small victory, so that by the time the English are forced to send a full army to meet the Bruce in battle, he has amassed an army as well. The Bruce had to prove to the nobles that he could win battles before they were willing to risk their troops and their titles in another war. Instead of demanding support, Robert earned the loyalty of his soldiers the hard way.
We leave the horses behind. We use the land to our advantage. At all costs, we hold the center ground. God willing, that will be enough.
Your Majesty, forgive me. I should never have doubted you.
You're here now. That's all that matters. Thank you. Join us, please.
In the 1990 film Days of Thunder, Tom Cruise plays fictional race car driver Cole Trickle in his breakout rookie year in the NASCAR circuit. Coming off a career in open-wheel racing, Cole has trouble adjusting to the demands of stock car racing at first.
Can and can't do. What is this shit, huh? You want me to work the pit and you drive? Fine, we'll try that.
I can't talk to this son of a bitch.
Think he can drive?
Oh, he can drive. He can drive beyond the limits of the tires, the engine, the car, anything else. If the son of a bitch listened to me, we wouldn't hardly ever lose a race.
Cole is rather thick-headed and refuses to listen to his crew chief, Harry, played by Robert Duvall. Harry tries several times to tell Cole to slow down and spare his tires from losing their tread too early in his races.
Tires is what wins a race. If we can't figure a way to run so you don't melt the damn tires, we can't finish a race.
So what do you want?
To teach him the difference, he has Cole race 50 laps any way he wants, on the condition that
We're gonna do it 50 laps my way, all right? All right. How do you do? When you burn them up, they melt. When they melt, they get greasy, and you slip and slide, you're out of control. All right?
Let's go. His way, my way. I was 6 seconds faster.
The comparison of the two tires and the race time convinces Cole that Harry's way is correct, in a definitive way that no argument ever could. In the 1995 film Gettysburg, which tells the story of the turning point of the bloodiest conflict to ever take place in the American continent, the film follows officers from both sides of the war, but particularly portrays Confederate leader Robert E. Lee, played by Martin Sheen, and his closest confidant, General James Longstreet, played by Tom Berenger.
I think we should concentrate here. All the roads converge just east of this gap. I left my spectacles over there. What is the name of this town?
Gettysburg.
The film begins by explaining after 2 years of continuous combat in the South, the Confederate Army has invaded the northern states in order to gain much-needed supplies that have been depleted in the South. When the Confederate leaders become aware that they are on a collision course with the U.S. Army,
I agree. Our objective was to get their army out of Virginia into the open. Now, they are in the open.
General Longstreet tries to persuade General Lee not to attack, but rather to fall back and fight defensively from stronger ground, where they can wage a defensive battle, giving them the advantage.
This is almost perfect. Now we got them where we want them. Move south and east down the road, get between them and Lincoln, find some good high ground, and then they'll have to hit us. They'll have to. And then we have them, General. We have them.
You mean disengage?
Well, sir, I've always been under the impression that it was our strategy to conduct a defensive campaign wherever possible in order to keep the army intact.
How can we move off to the south and the east in the face of the enemy?
Maybe we should not have fought here.
But the enemy is here. We did not want the fight, but the fight is here. How can I ask this army to retreat in the face of what they have done this day?
Not retreat, sir. Redeploy.
Our guns will move them off that hill, or you will push them off. But if Meade is there tomorrow, I cannot move this army away. No, sir, I will attack him.
General, I will bring out my boys as soon as I can.
Very well.
Lee, emboldened by his continuous success so far, and knowing that the southern state economies cannot compete for long with the rest of the U.S., is insistent that they must confront the enemy. Other generals start to voice their opposition to Lee's strategy as well, but there is no changing his mind.
Soldiers up there are entrenched all over the ground, and their guns and their rocks. If I attack as ordered, I'll lose half my division, and they'll still be looking down their throats at us from that rocky hill right there.
Sam, I argued it yesterday. I argued it all morning. Hell, I've been arguing against any attack at all. I can't call this one off.
I do this under protest.
Sam, you are the best I got. Now, sir, if you are ready, why don't you take that hill?
Longstreet continues his argument with his boss that they should retreat, particularly after the U.S. Army took control of the town and the surrounding high ground.
I want you to bring your corps forward. Take those heights in the center and split the Federal line.
My two divisions of Hood's and McClaw's, well, sir, they executed a forced march yesterday and went straight into the fight, lost half their strength. Sustained 50% casualties, sir. They are tired and need a rest. They are well entrenched up there. They aim to fight. They got good artillery and plenty of it. Sir, any attack we make will be uphill over open ground. They're all massed together, damn near in a circle.
If we retreat now, we will have fought here for 2 days, and will leave knowing we could not drive him off. And I have never yet left the enemy in command of the field. No, sir. Retreat is no longer an option. With General Longstreet in command, my old war horse, meeting the enemy face to face on ground of his own choosing, and with honor, we will prevail.
On the third day, Longstreet must stand back and watch as the Confederate Army that has previously been undefeated in battle launches a third and final assault, only to be repulsed and forced to retreat, leaving the ground to their enemy for the first time in the war. The reversal. Action may make the most convincing argument. But that does not mean that there is never a time to argue. There is a time when you may need to make your case as rigorously as you can. This has been a production of Minimum Effort Media. There are new video essays here on the first Friday of every month. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you care to. If you would like to own a copy of the 48 Laws of Power, I'd like to do a little giveaway where I give away a copy of the book to any of my subscribers who like and comment on this video. The comments will be chosen at random, and the winners from the last video are on screen right now. Please contact me at The Lazy Stoic across all social media so I can get your contact information. Thank you for watching.